What's up, everybody? How petty am I that I wait till exactly it turns to 8:01? Because everybody always gives me crap about being late. I waited till 8:01. I was like, click, we're in there. But good to be back for another stream. Obviously, we have an update in regards to the learning curve series. I think a lot of people expected this to be like episode 2. That is not what's going to happen. Let me explain why that's not going to happen. So, I have a little bit of a confession to make where I was trying to combine the streaming and the learning curve content, trying to combine them together in a way to where I didn't have to like record a whole nother. I was being a little lazy, chat. Simple as that. I was being a tad lazy. But I was trying to combine the two and then extract it from one and then kind of like repost it like I did the first week, right? However, I wasn't too happy with the result of the first episode because the stream didn't feel right. For some reason, it felt like I was trying to invite all of you to watch me record something. And because when I'm going through all that heavy content stuff, like I can't interact with chat and stuff like that. So I felt like I was like inviting everybody to like watch me record something. It just didn't feel right. So learning curves is not going anywhere. We are going to go all in on it basically, and it will get done completely separate from the stream because I like interacting with all of you. And I don't want to just it just felt off, something about it. Overall, the series got an overwhelming, positive response. Even for even if it was just single posted, the video did really well as far as comments and everything. Just people really getting a lot out of it, which was the whole point. But it was even double posted technically because it was the stream content plus the plus it was reposted on the channel. So I'm glad that a lot of people are getting, a lot from it, and we're going to continue. I really want to crank 2 episodes out a week is kind of my goal. It might be 3 every 2 weeks. Kind of just give me a little bit of room to kind of like if we get a little bit busy. But all that to say, we're keeping the two things separate. We're just going to stream and then produce that content on the side and do it what I consider the correct way. I tried to make a little shortcut, just didn't like how it felt, and so that's what we're doing. So, what are we going to talk about today? Well, obviously, we're not going to go over the BNR. Everybody saw the BNR. They hit bonds, right? We're going to go over the impacts that I think that will have on the meta. If you're not wanting Zen to be the best deck in format, I'm probably going to disappoint you because I don't think that seat has been dethroned in any way, shape, form, or fashion. I think he's still very, very, very good. But obviously, it was a hit of some type. And we'll talk about the possible changes that the Zen decks are going to make to kind of adapt to that loss of yellow and blue bonds. But other than that, we're gonna play some games afterwards. I think we're gonna play some Azalea today. I don't know. I feel like just doing damage. I don't know. That's just kind of how I'm feeling. So that's probably what we're gonna do today. We're gonna talk about a little bit of meta, the shakeup leading up into the Pro Tour, and close out with some Azalea games. So hope everybody enjoys it. I hope you stick around, hang out, interact in chat. If you have any questions along the way, feel free to ask. It can be on topic, off topic. I'm all ears. More than happy to answer any questions. What is up? This in LL format. That's actually interesting. I mean, you would obviously go like combo this with like an aggro package, kind of like how Skeleton Vis did back in the day. The problem is like Warmongers is still out there. You got, if I'm not mistaken, Hypo is wait, Warmongers is like limited to one, isn't it? I don't keep up too much with the LL format. I think it's a solid deck. I think it's a perfectly valid deck to bring. The problem is like, does it actually? Channel Lake Frigid just came back, which isn't like the end of the world. It is definitely a hindrance. Don't get me wrong, but you know there are things that can be done if you're actively just preventing the damage from Icelander, and you just vomit 20 rune chance. Like it can be impactful, right? So you don't need all the go again cards to kind of close that matchup up. So yeah, that's basically. I think Vis and LL is pretty decent. Is he the best deck? Probably not. Probably not. But I felt like they did kind of open it up a little bit and like try to let him kind of. They want to let him do his thing. Basically, they didn't want to get him completely shut down. Is why they restricted those cards. Can't believe they made Zenzi Terry. That I don't think they did. It's good. Just probably not better than Chain. I can agree with that. It's basically Chain just has such a proactive game plan, and you start with all the power, whereas Viscerai, it is variable. Whether you get your rune chant generation, whether they can interact with your arsenal that you're trying to or not trying to kind of protect or whatnot. Yeah, Stubbs then is pretty good as well. Stubby's 5 was even really, really good. So I can only imagine that Stubby's in would be would be fine as well. So let's talk about the elephant in the room that is Zen, right? With the loss of yellow and blue bonds, it's not. They obviously like didn't kill the deck, right? Simple as that. Like it's perfectly fine. Basically, what's going to happen? There were a lot of decks that didn't even run the yellows. I think that they banned the yellow not because most people were running them, but mainly because if you cut the blue, the next response is kind of like replace that blue, but then put in yellows in some other slot. So you kind of shift it down a little bit. So I think they just preemptively cut the yellow as well to just prevent that easy kind of fix, right? I'm talking Icelanders. Oh yeah, Icelanders like probably not where you want to be in the LL format, to be honest. Like she's a good hero, but just not where. I don't know. But what are the decks going to do? The Zen deck specifically going to do? Oh, well, we have a question. Let me go ahead and hit that. Can we briefly mention the new wizard weapon? The problem with mentioning the wizard weapon is we need to see the sigil package that comes along with the hero. As an example, crazy idea. Maybe he can equip sigils. Like maybe there's a sigil keyword in his armor pieces or a slot in his armor, right? Something along those lines. And he can kind of use them to gain instant effects, or he can kind of hold them for like a longevity effect, whatever the case may be. So my point being, there's no real way to evaluate the weapon without, because like sigil of protection, like okay, it's fine, but like we don't know if that's like enough, right? So we gotta wait and see what comes out to kind of to properly evaluate the weapon. But it looks cool. And I'm surprised that they just dropped it at the bottom of the ban and restrict suspended announcement. I think it was actually really, really cool. Hang on 1 second. The dogs are acting crazy. Let me message the wife. Okay. So let me get caught up in chat real quick before we start talking about Bond's impact to Zen. Honestly, BNR feels like it was decided after US Nats. Yeah, so I kind of had that feeling too. I hope that's not the case. Because what a lot of people should have, or if let's just make the assumption that maybe that's true. Maybe they had a meeting after US Nats. They said, "Is this a problem?" They ran it into like a couple matchups across the board or into the main decks. Had it just felt too powerful, and they're like, "Okay, we got to do something," right? Let's say it took them a week to talk over their options. So we'll say halfway through Nat season, they kind of like said, "Okay, this is kind of what we're banning." Maybe they had an idea. And once again, this is pure speculation. We don't know, right? And the reason I say I hope that's not the case is I think the second that they make the decision, whether I hate the fact that they schedule it, just throw it out there. Like let's say Brian had it decided the Sunday before or the Tuesday before the BNS announcement, like that he was going to ban yellow and blue bonds. Like, just throw it out there and make the effective date that Monday or whatever the case may be, right? To give people more insight into like what they're planning for. Maybe there's some people that are on the fence of whether they want to go to Amsterdam or not, whatever the case may be. So not entirely sure. But always the earlier information, probably the better, if I had to guess. But once again, that's pure speculation. It could have been like literally 24 hours before he released it. He figured out that's what he was banning. I just say, if they knew for a while, I hope they didn't hold on to it. Do I even want LL format though? Testing for that sounds awful. I mean, I'm constrained by time enough to where I don't have the ability to kind of invest a lot of time into the LL format. And unfortunately, the main incentive I have to playing the LL format is old girl back there. And she's terrible in LL. That's like probably one of the worst like LL'd heroes as far as like if you were to throw them all in a pool and make them fight each other. Maybe that's a slight exaggeration. I just know she's not going to contend with the straight aggression of anything with stubbies. Like the ninjas are going to tear her up. Lexi's always given her a problem. Starvo does Starvo things, and Icelander's always been a bad matchup. So like, you're sure you'll pick on Oldham, but like, who's playing Oldham kind of situation. Agree on the preemptive yellow bans. Yeah, I think they were just trying to like stop that kind of like just easy solution. L format is zero testing, just net decking. Yeah, absolutely. But the problem is like there's no net decking because I haven't seen anybody like really lean into LL format and like do any like serious testing. I haven't, at least. I could be wrong. Maybe there's somebody out there that's killing it. I'm not aware of it. I'm already all in on Earth Runeblade. Don't even need to see anything else. I cannot wait to play Bramble Spark. I can't wait. Just lay down that card. Fuse 0 for 4. Feels so good. Suiting up a pair creepers again. Gonna feel so good. I can't wait. Nathan would win a fight. Nathan would win in a fight, the card guys or the card dudes. The card guys. 100%. They ran it through the abacus. See, now you're learning. Now you're learning. Cards like Aetherize and maybe even Rewind are gonna rise up next set. I would love for Aetherize to like have its day. The problem is the way Kano's played currently, it is a risk to run that card. Because if I'm not mistaken, it's an instant because it basically has to be an instant to play and dissolve another instant. Um, Hard disagree. Briar is also a combo deck. I mean, like it can be built / played like that, but I don't think any deck in LL format is going to give you the time to do that. Bond should have been a majestic. They just effectively made it. I agree. Briar can do belittle creeper stuff. Oh, 100%. But once again, the power of belittle creepers is drawing the channel mount heroic, but there's a lot of decks in the format that can literally kill you before you even draw it, is the problem. Can't wait for Aether Earthbane. I tell you what. That two card 8 is so good. It's like Codex of Frailty good. I'm telling you. When that card comes out, if you can get a copy for under $20, get it. Okay. Surely Zen is still a top 3 deck in the meta, regardless. Oh, I think he's still the best deck in the format. But let's go ahead and I'm caught up in chat, so let's go ahead and go ahead and talk about what that slot is going to look like. So effectively, like I mentioned before, yellow bands were not in most of, or not yellow bands. Yellow bonds were not in most of the list, and they just preemptively banned it because that'd be an easy shift. You just shift it down one. And so all you need to do is replace blue bonds, right? And then inadvertently it reduces your opportunity to kind of double bonds, but that was kind of a rare thing anyway in most Zen list. It was a lot easier in the ones that did dip into the yellow bonds. But with, a standard list that was on blue and red bonds, there's kind of 2 cards that jump out to me as like an easy replacement. That is, if you really want to prioritize the consistency of the transcend, you would probably go into like a wind chakra or a this round's on me if it's not already in your list. Your second option, if you weren't too terribly concerned about the transcend ratio and you had it built in a way to where you had plenty of like cheap blue go again cards, you could go Winds of Eternity as a secondary option, right? That's kind of like the options that you would kind of look at, is some cheap blue that helps you transcend, or you have the option to go into like a Winds of Eternity to help combo on your 100 wins. And also have the possibility of adding a little bit of threat density back into the deck. Now, what impact does removing blue bonds effectively do from Zen? Well, when I read the announcement, the first thing that my head went to, the first thing that I thought of was, is there some way that this isn't going to surprise anybody, but basically, can Zen, with the decreased odds of double bonding, be fatigued? And I don't technically know the answer to that. However, what I do know is that New's biggest weakness is against a deck that operates on a low amount of cards, has a few D-reacts, and maybe some snags. That is New's biggest weakness. I'm talking like Warrior, Riptide, decks like that, right? That have some D-reacts. You don't need like 15 D-reacts. 6 D-reacts, maybe a snag or 2, and like, as long as your deck can operate on a 2-card hand and have really good efficiency, I think you can really give New a run for her money. The question is can you take a deck that does that? Let's say Axe's Hatchet Dorinthia, right? Just throwing something out there. Can you take that, because you don't want to I know everybody's gonna be like, yeah, why don't you do that with Guardian or whatever? Guardian's too much of a liability because of the blue situation with new. So you need to find a deck that basically has a defensive package of approximately 7 to 9 cards that doesn't have an abundance of blues that new can take advantage of. Okay. And then if there is a world where you can fatigue Zen, which I'm not saying there is, I'm just saying that if you can accomplish 80 cards, then you literally have probably the best deck in the format. Of course, you're going to lose to Enigma more than likely, right? Because you're probably not going to be able to push over the ward. But I think going to a tournament and asking to dodge 8% of the field is not. I don't think that's a bad strategy by any means. Hang on one sec. Sorry about that. I think I'm back. Sorry about I was dropping frames for a sec. I had to diagnose it. But yeah, I think that would be a very good strategy. However, you obviously need to test that strategy into a very good Zen that's going to be getting choppy. Yeah, I fixed it. Thank you though. You have to take that strategy and make sure you test it against some really good Zen players. Because I don't think it's possible. I think the numbers are just weird enough as far as like breakpoints and going wide, and they can even adapt and like I don't know, throw a tenacity in there or something. There's just so many possibilities. But I think if it can be done, it's exactly where you want to be, right? Just kind of bring a deck that would beat theoretically both of them, and do that. Also, bringing a new deck. I don't think the meta percentage should change for Zen. Peter, I kind of agree with that statement. And we're kind of in this situation where it really just depends. It really. Bonds mentioned the title is officially banned. What? Bonds mentioned in the title. Oh, okay. I get what you're saying. I was like, what did they? I know Kyle used a picture of the red bonds. I was like, no, they didn't hit that too, did they? You scared me for a second. I didn't know what to do. Let me get caught up in chat. Let me go back. 2-card combo. Yeah, but the 2-card combo really requires like a specific card, whereas the other heroes just don't. I feel like the ban is the best since it impacts ancestral harmony use as well as it does. It does. I think that's probably the biggest impact is you kind of hit that card in and of itself, because to dig deeper into the combo keyword, you have to like you have to start bringing in like 2 blocks, like stuff like spinning will kick blue and shit like that. Just really awkward stuff. Can I put Prismat? Stop. Can we get a rip for Bravo? Bravo been resting for quite some time. Been running one cosmic since day one. I mean, hey, there you go. Yep. And now we're okay. So I feel the bans weren't enough. His armor is the Yeah, I mean, like I mentioned at the beginning, I still think that Zen is the best deck in the format. I don't think that has changed. Okay. My bonds of ancestry. Oh man. If Mask of Momentum is on Zen, you know the sky is falling? Yeah, I don't. Yeah. Was Peter on Zen? Surely he was playing Kano. No, we're not doing break tide. No, no shot. No shot. Don't you skip my comment, Nate? Hey, you said I don't think the meta percentage should change for Zen. I agree. I don't disagree with that. I thought I already said that. Just want to play the best deck. It's just significantly better. I don't know. Oh, that was Siphon that said that. Don't skip mine. I know the talk is about CC, but do you think Zen has it to be a top contender on Blitz 2? If I'm being 100% honest with you, I have not played a game of Blitz since they gave out the Spring Tidings map. That was the last time. Yeah, that was the last time I played a game of Blitz. So, I don't like giving information that I simply know nothing about. So I'm just going to have to say I wish I could help you, but I honestly just don't know. And I'm not going to pretend to know. So I would lean on somebody else for Blitz because I just don't play it. I don't research it. I don't spend any time on it until LSS says they're going to kind of put a more competitive focus on it. I just can't. I tweeted I'm just playing Zen for the PT and just play the best deck. So don't pack your AB. That's exactly what a Kano player would say. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. That's exactly what I would say if I was playing Kano. Just saying. Swam with any other obscure line is so much fun. I do think that that's a very fun card. That's all right. Just asking because skirmish season is coming soon. Yeah, I haven't played in a skirmish since the Spring Tidings match. It's been a hot minute. It's been a hot minute. Yeah, it is kind of sus, isn't it? That's exactly what I was thinking. It's kind of sus. So, like I was saying, basically, Zen's not going anywhere. I think the representation will be high. I think there'll be some players that probably shift off the deck and maybe go back to KO. I don't think it's a terrible move as long as you tailor your KO deck more toward the Zen matchup, because I think, which is crazy to think, that KO has to tech for an aggro mirror. That just, what a world. What a world. So not much is going to change. The question, I think the biggest factor is how much new is going to show up. And is there specifically a new list that has an edge in the mirror? Is there some way that they can so some angles that I would kind of try out. I'm just throwing this out there. I'm not holding anything back because I'm not going to Pro Tour Amsterdam as of right now, this moment. But what I would do is I would start saying, if I add 2 card 7s, 2 card 8s into my new list, does that help the mirror match? I would start experimenting with those things. If I up my D-React count, does that help the mirror? And just try to find a unique angle to gain an edge in the mirror match, even if it meant giving up the new match, or not the new match, the Enigma match, because Blue Bonds isn't really going to affect the Enigma matchup. I think the Enigma matchup is still just as bad as it's ever been. So it'll be. I don't think that that's swaying too much. So I think as a new player, or there theoretically shouldn't be that much enigma. I think some people will try it, and for good reason. A little power down on Zen, maybe that's enough to kind of get enigma into the window. But I think a new deck that can tech for the mirror, still obviously have a 55 or 60 into Zen, whatever you want to put it at. I think it's a really good deck. I don't think there'll be a terrible amount of Kano. I think there'll be some. You're already good into the Guardians that are trying to pick on pick on Zen. The only thing that you really have to worry about is Riptides and Azalea. Those and Warrior, but I don't know who's bringing Warrior other like they're in a 1 month period. Let me put this in perspective. In a 1 month period, Kasai won a calling. And there were several nationals that didn't even have one register in the tournament, like 100-person events. Hong Kong didn't have a single Kasai at the event. In like 1 or 2 months, it went from winning a calling to not a single one registered. I mean, like Warrior's just in that spot, right? Now, Boltyn's an interesting aspect. We'll have to see how the innovation happens there. Obviously, the new matchup's not going to be horrendous, right? Because you don't have that many blues. Question is, can you be fatigued? Do you have an adequate way to like stop that from happening? And the biggest question that Boltyn has to answer is, can he get at least 50-50 into Zen? If he can accomplish that, then he's a real deck. Kind of sus, Peter. I mean, it is what it is. The real problem is these Mystic Heroes have 3 value blues: Rage Spectre, Bonds of Agony, and yep, that is correct. It's the first time ever that a class has focused on extracting higher value from blues. So you basically have the Guardian symptom of having the consistency of a bunch of blues, but you never brick if you draw a bunch of blues, which is something Guardian doesn't have, right? So it's really good. You get to run basically a higher blue count at absolutely no opportunity cost, because some of your blues actually do more damage than some of your reds, which is actually insane. I have a 1K tournament this weekend taking KO. I think KO is a fine pick. I've asked Josh this as well, but just curious to your answer. What would your advice be on maintaining a good mental game going into and at an event? So as far as good mental game, I don't know if you're referring to just like not tilting or whatever. I think that that's just a mindset, and you have to understand what you can control and what you cannot. If you make a mistake and you make a mistake, it's okay to beat yourself up a little bit, because you want to learn, right? You want to say, I messed up, that's on me, and kind of dwell on it a little bit. The thing you don't want to do is let that lead to another mistake, because then you might be learning a lesson that you don't really need to learn, because that mistake was predicated on the first one. So the key to tilting is actually just knowing the math behind what happened, right? If somebody plays double Art of War and just kills you in one turn, there's zero reason to be upset about that, because it was nothing you did. It was just the variance baked into the way the opponent's top of their deck was ordered. Simple as that, right? You just does the outcome suck? Yes, but there's just bad stuff happens to people every single day all across the world, and there's just no reason to be mad about it, right? Or let it affect your other matchups more particularly. Assuming that's what you meant, that would be my answer. New will increase in percentage due to lists getting figured out. I do see some validity behind that. But I think we're also, like I mentioned before, we're going to see a little bit of an illusionist situation, where historically you've had an illusionist list, right? Let's use the example of Dromai. The first drove my list to have a large amount of success, if I'm not mistaken, was like a big dragon list, right? And then what happened was the red line version was built to win the mirror and some other reasons, but that was one of the main selling factors on that variant of the hero. And I think we're going to see that with Assassin. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know if the answer is going more defensive, going more value oriented. I think it's value oriented. I think if you take a Zen list and you throw some like just try to find some high value 2-card plays, I think you can get an edge in the mirror, because that's the one thing that New really suffers on, is just getting tons of value from their cards. So if you throw some 2-card 8s in there and just try to have high value low card plays, I think it will be really advantageous. Do you have to sacrifice something to do that? Of course. It's a calculated, risk that you have to take. But I think we're going to see a situation like the Illusionist, where basically the decks are going to evolve, and we're going to see 2 versions. Not talking about tilting, more so referring to playing through nerves, being nervous about simply making said mistake and trying to not let nerves get to you. Okay. So the way that I've been fortunate enough to never have that problem, because at one point in time I was a meteorologist, so you kind of have to be, you know, high pressure situations and like, speaking in front of people. It's kind of like the same kind of situation. It creates anxiety, right? And anybody that's trying to make decisions under anxiety, it typically doesn't go very well, right? So I've been very fortunate to kind of just start with not having to face that, right? But just because of what I did. However, some of the things that I think that, you're going, just based off of that question, you're really worried about making a mistake. I think you're going to the tournament for the wrong reason. I think you can go and have a competitive focus for the tournament, but just go to have fun, right? But just be competitive about it. You don't have to go with the mentality that if I don't win, and once you go in with that mindset, then you shouldn't be stressing about turn, right? Also, slowing down is a big thing. You don't want to take it too far, obviously, but slow down a little bit. And most of the time when I see somebody make very blatant mistakes, they make them a little fast. So try, if the matchup allows, try to take a little bit of time. Think. That'll help calm your nerves. My favorite thing is when Zen gets 2-card 9s and win the value. Yeah, no, Zen's just that good. Simple as that. 100% agree. So that's kind of my thoughts on the meta. I think Azalea is a big winner, to be honest, on the ban. Has the potential to slow Zen down just a tad, not a lot. Like I said, not going to be a game changer, but slows him down a tad. And more importantly, as more news come online, Azalea is perfectly fine playing into new, I believe. She has no hero text, and if they ever have an off turn, you can just punish the shit out of them. So I think Azalea is a big winner for the BNR. I think actually Victor's kind of a loser for the BNR. My big problem is I tend to overthink and take the wrong line because I took too long to think rather than rush myself. Well, then try it. Play a little faster. See what happens. For that kind of stuff, I recommend recording whatever. Like if you're playing on Talishar, record it, review it, and understand what's leading you to those decisions. And if you sat there and thought about it for a long time, would you make the same decision? Um, it doesn't move the needle too much, but Zen not being able to tutor out blue. Yeah. Um, what it really, to be honest, what blue bonds really hurts is, like you said, being able to tutor out blue bonds with the Mask of the Pouncing Lynx. That is a big factor. So I would not be shocked if every list just had Traverse. I would not be shocked because I don't really know what you're grabbing unless they start adding Salt the Wound and Tenacity. I don't know what you're grabbing with Mask of the Pouncing Lynx. I honestly don't. I have no fucking clue what you're grabbing. So, because Blue Bonds was like always the target. That's what you grabbed because it was like literally 9 times out of 10, it was a 1 card, 6 or 7, because you go get like a, whatever the case was. Okay. I think we're going to go ahead and get into some gameplay. But if you have any questions about Zen, meta, whatever the case may be, feel free to throw them in chat. Let me go ahead and switch screens, and we will go ahead and get started. Play some games. Just hang out and throw some arrows. Maybe 3. Spellboy 1, the GOAT. I don't know about the chess piece, man. Like, I agree with the thought process. Transcending is so damn risky. It's actually insane. I'm pretty sure Azuri lands on Warmongers. So we are going to play this. We're not going to play that. We're going to keep that here. I think the list can't be too defensive in this meta, so I don't think Dreadbore is worth it in this matchup specifically. As for here, I think turning off the hero ability is better than Remorseless. So we're going to do a 1-for-1 swap there. The question is, do we need to run more cards? And it's kind of iffy, to be honest. I don't want to throw off the ratio, and I think we can just get there if we keep the tempo. So I'm going to try it on just a 60-card deck. I really don't think that fat decking is like really necessary. Great start. Great start. We will just block 3 because that's all we literally can do. Of course, if it's surgical, I'm going to cry because I didn't block gloves. Okay, shakedown's fine. Okay. Take whatever you want. They chose red, so they're probably going to take Reed here if I had to guess. Yep. Which, once again, is fine. We have, I'd say we have some plays here. The question is, this card kind of sucks in this situation. So we have the option to play this. But what I like to do here, because this is just getting to in the on hit, like there is no real on hit. So what I'm going to elect to do is I'm actually going to pitch this to Death Dealer, and that'll draw us a card. And then if it is an arrow, we can load it and fire it after the Boltyn, which I kind of like. So we're going to do that. We're going to load the Boltyn shot, draw a card. If it's a pump, good. We'll just add damage and we'll play the Codex anyway. Yeah, so we'll just jam everything anyway. But if it was an arrow, we could pump, fire, or pump, fire, Codex, fire, right? And still do everything that we're trying to do. So let's just go ahead and... I guess there was an argument to Codex, put it face down, then flip it up. But we would have saw a pump anyway, and it wouldn't have changed our necessary line. So I think this is fun. Spell Void is too good, actually. Like it that is how you beat Kano. Is Spell Void. Simple as that. They are coming off of an arsenal, which makes me feel a little bit better. Okay, Spider Bite. There is a world where we can just let the arsenal die. I don't want to let it die, but like we can't be blocking these. Oh, Death Touch? Oh. Huh. So let's think here. They chose not to block. That means something, right? But what does it mean? Because they have the ability, 2 cards in hand, they can have like a shred and a codex or some kind of combination of that. I think we're and he blocked with whispers, so that should like let the bells ring, right? With the fact that I'm pretty sure they're gonna whispers here and then throw something else. It's kind of my thought process. The thing is though, they're not, unless they like pitch into it or something, they're not gonna be able to grab. I guess they could throw a shakedown or something afterwards. Or surgical or leave no witness and then pitch the blue for blood rot or something. We know we're getting teched here though. So we're just gonna let it hit. I don't think we have a choice. Wait, are we not actually testing a new Zen list? We are not. And the thought process is they're just swapping a blue card. I went over earlier in the discussion that it's basically you can either go consistent transcending and go wind chakra or this round's on me, or you have the ability to go winds of eternity is kind of the thought process. Okay, so here we're gonna go into a shakedown or something. What's the worst that, or maybe a CNC? They take that. There's no card in my hand that completely shuts me down if they take this. If they call red, it's either this or this. They take that, and then we keep the pump. They blow up the arsenal. So I think we just let it. I think we just let this hit. No matter what it is, I don't think it truly. Yeah, see, that's fine. Okay, so what do we want to do here is the question. Really want to push damage. Like, really want to push damage. Keep them off an arsenal and not let them do that is kind of good. Do we want to keep this is the question. We can snap if we draw codex, throw something else. I'm going to pitch the Boltyn shot here because if we pitch the rain to load the Boltyn shot, then we don't have the surprise aspect to actually let that hit. Okay. We obviously can't blind. That's a little ambitious. What this does do, if they try to do the whole 2-card, here we have to go ahead and extract our 2 value. We don't have a choice. One thing I'm noticing is I think we want to come off an arsenal a lot in this matchup to prevent situations specifically like this. Or at least be more willing to do so. with one card in hand under Seek and Destroy. Okay. If they get the arsenal anyway, it doesn't matter because we have every intention to just pump. So is that a shred? Like what's happening here? Could be a sigil. Because if they blow up the endless, it's not the end of the world. We just literally go get another endless, right? With the codex, play out all the pumps. We can even check the top and see what it is. I think we just let them have it. I just don't understand what this move is. Like, why are you hanging on to that? Okay. So here we're going to check the top card, see if it's an arrow, see if we can get a dominate going. That's pretty good. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll keep that. We'll take aim. We'll lace. We'll codex. Doesn't matter what we're getting because we are just going to send it to the bottom. So I need a 1 cost arrow and a 0 cost for 4. So we're just going to put this one and then Azalea into the amplifying arrow. Yeah, we could grab Sleep Dart, but I think I'll just like the Dominate more. And it's 3 pumps on it, so it's still coming in for 5, and we get to carry over the Tunic counter. So I think doing this is better. I could be wrong. And then plus the Frailty means the bigger hand doesn't matter as much because they can't dagger and their boots are down. So I think the Dominate is better than the Sleep Dart. So now we Azalea into the amplifying arrow that we know is on top from the Read the Glide Path. We do not put an aim counter on it, obviously, and we fire that big old thing. So this gets us a little caught up. I think we're still technically losing. That turn 0 shakedown was kind of good. I mean, this ain't the worst arsenal if it doesn't get blown up. What did he get off of the... Chose CNC. Okay. So he's going to throw a CNC at me, is what we're saying. Which means we're going to... And there's another one on top. What a world. What a world. But that's easy because all we're going to do... We have the Tunic counter as the emergency kind of situation. So what we're going to do is we're just going to block with Amp and Boltyn Shot on the CNC, though. We're going to take this 4, obviously, because it's not super relevant. And then we're just going to block this CNC out. Since this one's kind of convenient to do so. Sure. Okay, now we get our flip. This is actually pretty good. Because now what we can do... Oh, this is actually really good. So what we do is we go top. And then top. We'll choose not to opt. We'll keep it on top. And then we're going to dominate into the Boltyn. And we're going to fire the 7 dominate. Know that a pump is on top. So we don't care if this hits. This is actually like bait and a half because we're going to tunic counter, load the endless, then double and then pump this one too. And as long as anything hits, we get a ponder token. We're sitting good. So that was exactly probably what we needed to see on top. Pretty good, pretty good. Yep, we actually don't care about this because we want to draw the card on. We do not. We want to take tunic counter. We want to load. And we want to push even more. I guess actually, I wonder if you do load, fire the 4, and if it hits, it goes to hand, then you can tunic counter load. Is that worth it? I had a solid line kind of lined up. I don't know if it's worth risking that. I'm not entirely sure. This hand kind of sucks. I think we jam. And then we can knock. So we can knock into. We can knock and then use the half glove for the other 2. Hang on. What can we do here? Okay, so we block 1 card, whatever that card is. Say drill shot. Not really relevant. We block 6. We can knock this down. Go get any 0 cost arrow. Probably endless. Assuming there is one. And then we can half glove those 2. Or is it better to just throw the infecting and surprise with rain? Is it worth it? Because he's just gonna arsenal if we just let him have it. And there's nothing that he can rip from the hand that really like says you're not taking a turn. Do we just let him have it and we can just This is kind of tough. Missouri is so much harder than new, but this matchup specifically. Ah, this is tough. Just load. But do we jam? What could he take from the hand? He could take rain razors, but then we just draw. We can half glove. Let's force him to play this. I don't like jamming here because if we're giving free value, you can just arsenal it, play it the next turn. If he wants to take the arsenal, it actually works for us. Like if this is a CNC, that's fine. That is actually fine. Because we didn't really want the knock that much. And now we have the ability to pitch this, load the infecting. Well, that works. Slightly inefficient, but we'll take it. We'll take. Oh, we did know it was a CNC. You are correct because he revealed on the ravel. Yeah, this is fine because we can play this, and then now there's no shenanigans that we can do. We have to carry over the drill. The reason I kept the drill shot is I wanted the option to half glove if I had to. I absolutely had to. Because it looks kind of sus the way I did it. In this spot, he's at an effective 5, and he'll block down to 2 cards. So I think we take the infecting because he has to cover it up or he's going to literally die. So I think we just take infecting here because we have the 1 floating from the blue. Now, of course, we have to discard, which is fine. On them, they probably get leave no witness because they're coming to the realization that they are going to have to block. And that's fine because it'll come in for 3. We can jam armor if we get like a really high damage hand. We can cross wrap here. We'll always take a look because we can. It's free. There's no reason not to. And what more importantly, what the cross wrap will more than likely be used for is, will we put something into our hand next turn? Do we want this card on our ponder token or whatever the case may be? Do we want the card that we look at in Arsenal? If the answer is no, we just sink it to the bottom, no problem, and then go. They discarded a Codex, got a Death Touch. Tunic counter is on 3. So they're going to do their 1 card 5, if you will. The problem is to stop this from hitting, there has to be 2 3 blocks, and they have to give me Flick Knives if they want to play their Death Touch, which is fine. Yep, so they're still at effective 5. We get... Oh, I didn't opt. But, oh well. This is fine. I just talked about it and didn't do it. I don't know if... Do you actually sync Blood Rot because it theoretically just fits everything? I don't think you do. So maybe it was just fine regardless. And now we're just playing a tempo game here, I think. I think we're literally just trying to apply pressure. Simple as that. Each hero puts a card from their hand face down into their arsenal, create a ponder token. Okay. So what we want to do here is we obviously want to cover this up because we don't want, you know. So what I'm going to do in this instance is we want to draw a pump, is ideally what we want. So what we're going to do is we're going to flip our cross wrap, look for a pump. It's not a pump. Yeah, we're going to bottom that. And maybe we shouldn't have bottomed that. Yeah, because I'm going to stick with the original line and throw this into Arsenal. Play it from Arsenal. Load the infecting shot. Hopefully draw a pump because we're goaded. And then just yeet the thing. And like, it doesn't, I mean, this hits, right? It connects no matter what his hand is. Even, I guess, if he has a D react here, then he's fine. but he has to have exactly that. Which with this block he does. Probably an Arsenal. Yep, makes sense. But can he produce anything offensively with that one card is the question. He cannot, which is huge for us. And this is the power of the half glove, is we're probably going to use it. Okay. In this specific situation, we can go. We can dominate into it, into the pre-med. Play it. Pitch the codex because it's not really doing anything. Load the red. Play, take aim, fire it for whatever arsenal the drill shot to kind of keep on the pressure for the following turn. Because we know this card in arsenal is not a one card play, or he would have made it before. So I think the safest bet is not to get greedy here because he just chose to arsenal this, not throw it at us. To just leave that on top, dominate into it, play it. And if we get a pump here, it's huge, right? And even if we don't, what we could do is half glove. What does that look like if we half glove? We play this. That's 2 pumps on it. So that takes it to 11. This takes it to 15. And that should win. And if at worst, it gives us an arsenal because we get the ponder token on the pre-med. Sure. GG. So that works. 6 Zen deck. We talked about Zen. We did. We discussed the whole meta changes and whatnot. I mean, we can dig into it if everybody wants to. What does chat want? Does chat want to see Zen with 3 different cards? I'm all ears. Tell me what you want. I just loaded up a deck. I'm not married to it. Tell me what you want, chat. Let me find a Zen deck real quick. I go to this screen so I don't accidentally leak all the spice I don't have. Let's see. There's Evan's list. Riptide. Dang, that means I missed the best part. Vinset, Riptide, play Prism. No. Aim counter Riptide. I will play Riptide, but it will not be aim counter Riptide. I can do some Riptide. I can Zen with 3 different cards. Sounds like a lot like Nathan is on the Zen is still cracked. Yeah, no, that's exactly what I said. I said it's still best deck. It is still the best deck. And it doesn't even require that much innovation, to be honest. So we're pivoting to Riptide because that's what chat want. I'm just gonna do it. Just gonna do it. Ship it. The ad. PTs. It's too good. Too good. Aim counter Riptide is pretty good. I'm going to take your word for it. I'm going to take your word for it. Smell of a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament? Oof. Oof. I could see that with the Azalea Armory deck. I could see that. 100%. They want to attack us first turn because they want to make like the whole hyperdriver thing, which actually kind of plays into our plan and allows us to filter, start with pure aggression. So I'll actually like going second here. We obviously go Death Dealer. We just go full aggression because we're trying to kill them before they do the thing, right? Simple as that, which means we actually want minimal traps. We don't want a whole lot. Turning off hero ability is relevant. But is it that relevant? Collapsing trap, good. Buzzsaw trap, not really good. Because they're not attacking. I think I'm actually going to side out the buzzsaw. Crazy as that sounds. Pitfall is fine. Could be clunky though. I don't think we need it. I don't think it serves the purpose. I think we just need to go like full aggression. Let's try this. Not my list. This is Damien's from the Discord. He actually let me play this during the Arc-like League. Week 8 should be out soon. Played this one. See, this hand would like suck without him attacking, but he's going to attack us to get a hyperdriver. And if he doesn't attack us to get a hyperdriver, then he's one turn farther away. I heard on Twitter that this last PT was smellier than usual. I didn't notice, but don't. I mean, I didn't notice anything different. Me personally. Frailty trap is okay, but I think the problem is I think if they transform, I think you lose. So I don't want to play cards that plan to be really good when he transforms. Kind of situation. Not what I'm wanting to do. Here I'm just gonna block, filter, keep the lean and mean, if you will. Didn't have the trap to punish, unfortunately. This sucks. So in this situation, I kind of prioritize the drill shot more. So what we can do is see what's on top, deny the Riptide trigger. Because even if there's, say, a pump on top, I think we still pitch. Maybe we don't. Is it too risky? If the pump is on top, then we actively want to put Boltyn Shot in the arsenal right now because then we can fire and do all the shenanigans, right? But if it's not a pump on top, then we're just shooting. Then we're not Death Dealer. Or we're not activating Death Dealer. But we can trench it away if we miss. Okay. I like that. So let's go ahead and load the Boltyn Shot and plan for the best and say there's a pump on top. There is a pump on top because we are good at the game. And then we're going to... Shit. We have to draw it. Oh, this is okay. So what we can do is we can trench it away. Load. This was so unnecessary. I butchered this. It's still fine. We're still going to load this, but now we have a weaker arsenal. I think we would rather have. I guess we actually can just keep the face-up arrow. Why not? For that good old rain razors? Yeah. So we scuffed that turn. Okay. What should be happening right now is this card should be red Boltyn shot, if I played it correctly. But we out here, we learn it. That's what should be, but is not. High octane. So you're gonna mid range it. You're gonna boost, pistol stuff. I mean, I tell you what, if there was ever a time to give a frailty token, it's fucking now. He's got high octane. There you go. You got my snappies. Yeah, keeping the arrow face up is important, but the problem is I have the wrong arrow face up. I mean, I guess it's speculative, right? Like, I think you always are supposed to like kind of play toward the. Do you have another T-bone, bro? Okay, get out of here. I mean, you can have the New Horizon. What the fuck? You got the trench already? No shot. Okay. We doing it. Can't arsenal traps. Okay. Look at the good side. All my lines just got cut in half because I don't have trench. So we have to look at the positive things. But overall, we took 6 damage, right? Something like that. Maybe 7 damage. We did lose our armor, but I think it's fine overall. Here, the most important aspect is the sleep dart is more important than the remorseless, I believe. So we are going to load that. Although we have to pitch for it, which kind of sucks, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. Not the most efficient thing on the planet, but it is relevant. Has a lot of good on hits. This is actually really good if he has the mech in hand. It's actually really good. Because it will have the inertia along with it, which prevents the arsenal. And then if he is trying to cast it, I don't think he can unless he has a way to make. I guess he has to have exactly Supercell to make it because he can't activate his hero ability to make the hyperdriver. He has no hero text. Probably just gonna 2 for 6 me and then pay for blood rot if I had to get or something like that. Okay, there's super and pitch the mech. That's scary as shit, to be honest with you. Okay. Actually, this is okay because that means we know one's the bottom and he can't arsenal one because of the blood rot. Or the inertia, sorry. Okay, so this one's pretty simple. I think these cards are completely irrelevant because we have Searing here. So we're just gonna ditch one. There's one armor left, so that means we pitch this to go with this. Okay. And then we have a couple options here. We can either present the on hits on this arrow or the following one, which I think Searing is just gonna be a little bit better. So let's go ahead and actually let's do a mix. Let's try to get the armor piece here. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna snap and then we're gonna lace and then codex getting the searing shot. And then what's really good about this play specifically is if he does block down to one card and that is the mech, then we just made him discard the mech, which is pretty good. So the reload doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. We're going to make you discard the card in your hand and get a searing shot. It's either searing or force the armor here. I think it's the same, literally the same thing. But I guess we might as well force the armor to increase the odds of the on hit for the following. But then he can just give the armor, which invalidates the arrow, so we have to go here. It's going to be one of those games. Time to play like normal hero. For the record, my comment was after they threw high octane for nothing. Yeah. And then we get, so what did he discard? The high octane. See, that's good. We took the high prio card, and he got dive through data, which is very important to note because he's not going to be able to cast it the next turn, which means he's kind of committing to drawing the construct on literally the next turn, which means we need to go. And in here, you definitely just arsenal the Boltyn shots. I don't even think it's a question. Oh my Lanta. There's no way I just drew this. I guess I'll take one. What the? Oh, we did him dirty, boy. All right, so since we can carry this effect onto both, we're gonna put that one. Oh god. So they have 0 high octanes, I believe so. One, and they played one and discarded one. Yes, that is correct. They're down 2 supercell, which supercell isn't relevant because there's 3 drivers already. Not really relevant. Okay, and now we just go skadoosh. Skadoosh. Same thing. And we get searing shot once again. We fire the searing shot. And this presents 10, which kind of forces the blocks. He's going to lose his arsenal no matter what. So we basically fast forward the game state and he has a lot less life, basically. It's like nothing changed. So this is a little, see, this is the weird plays where I don't know if I'm supposed to arsenal this or not. I mean, I guess you do because you don't know. But like in this situation here, it's just like it literally just bricks you. Am I getting walloped on the stream? Yep. Yeah, kind of unfortunate, but I mean, there's no line here, right? Like, I don't have a choice. It's just play this and this. I don't have snaps. Maybe I wasn't supposed to arsenal that, but it's kind of like hindsight situation. See, I don't know. That's tough. That's tough. Either way, see if we had trench here, we're good. So here I'm just gonna do that because, like I said, I don't have a choice, right? There's no. I mean, I could like if I played half glove, maybe. It's just a feels bad. In this situation, I think we want to arsenal this because we might have to actually block with that, maybe. Although If we don't draw a pump in the top 2 cards like we didn't, this becomes a brick. So I actually should have arsenaled the Falcon Wing just to be like safe. That's a little min-max thing there, but all right, so we did some Riptide. I mean, you could have kept the rain, but like getting the 2 value, I don't know, maybe. Yeah, no, you're right. I should have kept the rain to secure this play, because I can fire it, play the rain, because that's already on the chain out of Arsenal. Playing the rain loads the Falcon Wing, fire the Falcon Wing, then Codex for. That's just nasty. Absolutely nasty. Do it again. That one went so well. Why not? Good old Azalea. For this one, I think you want to go first. I don't know, actually. Maybe second's actually better, because if they do attack you, you can always have traps. I think second's actually correct. There's an argument here. You always get 2 block out of Stonewall over Bracer, so maybe that's actually correct. We're going to try it. I don't know if it's actually correct. I do like snaps over the Perch, though, but Red in the Ledger is a thing, so maybe Perch. And then we have Frailty Trap's kind of good, right? Tar Pit's kind of good. We don't want this because it's a liability. This is really not super relevant. We have to take 5 cards out. 5 cards. I guess Merkmeyer's not really doing a whole lot. We don't want to mess up our ratios too bad. But these block 4. These stop on hits if it's a Boltyn shot. Maybe I'm overvaluing those a little bit. Maybe not. What can come out? This is too good. Way too good. I mean, these aren't amazing, but then I've just taken out 5 arrows. How many arrows do I have left? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna go that. I could just completely butcher the ratios, but I mean, I think tar pits are fine. I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. So they're gonna debt dealer. They're gonna try the old thing. Oh, they get 2 looks. They get 2 looks. Oh, left it on top. He got it first try. Didn't even need it for the old blind. Sleep dart. Okay. So kind of relevant. And has inertia. So what we're going to do is try to get a little bit greedy here. I think we're going to play the tar pit and then load the remorseless. And just hope we draw a bunch of arrows. If they have Dreadbore, it's harder. Yeah, that's true. That's one thing I didn't. It's on them, right? Or did Tower Shard just like die? Oh. Draw pumps. So we're starting the game at 30. That's cool. Wow. I see. What do you even do here? Because holy shit. I mean, we have to bank on getting an arrow off Death Dealer, right? Because it's just so bad if we don't. So we need to literally bank. Wow. I even took out 5 arrows and we ripped what? 6 in a row? I mean, that's just game, unless we get like the juiciest buzzsaw on the planet. That's just game. We literally just can't do anything. It's just, I guess, could we activate that? But I mean, we can't even load. So like activating that doesn't do anything. It's literally past turn. And we don't even get to Arsenal. Holy shit. Well, this makes me feel better. I hope he misses. What in the world is happening? We're about to E-strike for 7 against Azalea. Ugh. Brother, ugh. Now we could be using those arrows. Okay. You kept it on top, so you hit whatever you wanted. Okay, so play that. And then I cry if it's Boltyn shot. Because I like can't even block. Endless arrow. Okay, so you can't give this go again, which is oh great. Okay. So 9. I don't mind giving up New Horizon here. So theoretically we could go 3, 5, 7, 9. Or we could just block Stonewall Gauntlet instead. I don't think throwing down E-strike is enough. I think we need to be more proactive than that. So I'm gonna go here, here, and here, and then that'll knock it down to 8, and then we'll just arsenal the Seek and Destroy, and hope we can do. We need to buy. We're so far behind. We actively have to buy time to get to Buzzsaw. Like we're that far behind. This could be okay. This could be better. It depends on how the turn plays out, but this could be fine. We're just bricking as far as like resources and like not drawing. Really? Put a card at the top of the deck. You know it's there. So I make you draw red in the ledger and one other card, which is not a pump. So now you draw red in the ledger and one card that hopefully is not a pump. Because if you draw the pump, then it just really sucks. Wow. That would have sucked. Bro, you discarded all that? Oh, man. He's about to see me to sleep. So this is blind now because it's not a red ledger up there anymore. Okay, you could play that and then load the red. Sure. Are coming off an arsenal, but the problem is we can't take this and do anything on our turn because we don't have the arrow down there. So unfortunately, we just have to give up the hand. And the hand's not really that good anyway. The question is, and we can't really give armor in this situation either. New Horizons just isn't going to work, and we can't give up Trench. So we just have to take the 5. And maybe they can brick one time, like I do. Okay, I think we finally have a hand that does something. CNC, so no matter what, they can dominate into the CNC, which we do have the counter to that. We can just block 6. I don't want to say counter, but like we have a play into it. There's no way that we can block this. Very weird Azalea deck. Got Tar Pit traps, CNCs, Dead Eyes. It's kind of like old school. Yeah, I figured this was going to happen. Which is fine. What 0 cost do we have? I guess that's our best target, which is not exciting, but like, I guess we'll take it. We finally get a turn as we're 19 life down. I guess we take drill shot actually. That's our best. I didn't see that one there. We just buy in time for Buzzsaw Trap to kind of turn the game. Buy time for codexes, only throw relevant. You don't want to play numbers with Azalea like E-Strike. I had to block with it. Just throwing 2 card 7s, you just can get eaten alive. Especially when you're having to take on hits to do it. So I think this is a fine play. It's going to reduce the armor because there's no way they're blocking 10. I guess it's perfectly fine if they block 10. Okay, so they no longer have the ability to make an arsenal unless they make a ponder token. That would be the exception. We want to deny perch value. Okay, this is good. Are we getting a red in the ledger, I guess? What are we trying to do? I mean, we have a good counter for it, I guess. We can just do that and then E-Strike for 7. It's not the worst thing on the planet. Pre-med, so they even two-step the seek and destroy. What a game. And the inertia doesn't actually... Holy cow. Oh, man. It's only for 7, so we can stop it if we want. The problem is we'd have to give up our arsenal to do it. We have to block with New Horizon. We have to. It's too much value. I think just in case we can get another pump, I think it's actually correct to load it with Death Dealer, so that way... That's for... we wouldn't have drawn the card. Would I rather have... Because we can't give this go again, so then the E-Strike is just have a dead card anyway. But if they fully block this, then I like this play. If they do fully block it. And it gives frailty, which is decent. Once again, we're just trying to buy time to get to that trap. Yeah, so since they blocked it, it was a good trade because I'd much rather have Endless Arrow than E-Strike in the arsenal. Okay. It is a red, which is slightly annoying. This is irrelevant on hit because it's the only way to load and shoot what is in... Go ahead and get the trap damage while we can. Reduces it to 6. Then we have the ability to... We have a couple options here. We're going to play the rabble to get more information, and then we can make an appropriate line based on what's on top of that deck. Please don't be Buzzsaw and give out. I don't want to give it away. Okay, so it's a pump. So what we probably do here is actually just trench. We're going to trench and then use the resource to load, drawing the pump, and then send the drill shot for 7. Because I think that the endless would have hit, and I didn't want to end with 2 cards in hand. I'd rather extract the value. Is kind of the thought process there. And we get some value here. I think I would rather them block with Cross Wrap to give me agency over blocking. The deck does block well. And do we brick? This game has been rough. Okay, red. I don't like the idea of. I don't have a choice, man. I gotta put the stupid fucking trap in Arsenal, or else I just get dumpster the next turn. This hand doesn't really do anything. This defends an attacking hero. It's played or activated reactions. They have not. So just a blue. Block. Right. Great. Oh God. Long draw. Okay, this is better, I guess. On the first turn, knowing you're getting sleep darted, if you need to dump your hand and reset, you could always broke quiver. Chose 0. Yeah, but the first hand wasn't that bad because we were drawing 2 cards and we'd already seen so many arrows. Whereas, given the way that this game's going, the cards could be relevant, could not be relevant. Not entirely sure. I don't know what this person is doing. Okay. Drill shot. I'm just going to block the hand. I'm not going to fight through a... I can't fight because red in the ledger. It's a card. We still have not seen Buzzsaw. And it's important that we get to it before they've ran through their density. We're probably getting fatigued, to be honest. But it's important to get... See, this hand just doesn't do anything. Because we're drawing all pumps, all arrows, all pumps, all arrows. Okay. Is that all rain? It is. It's all rains, so no combat tricks. If it's a Boltyn shot or something. Are you fucking kidding me? Bro. This trap is there forever. I have not been able to play this trap for 3 turns. And I can't just like... It's such a bad play to trench it away and then load one of these arrows. Because I'm taking so much to do it. But then this has inertia on it. This is risky, but I just have to do it. I don't like this play, but the inertia, I have to give the inertia back. Get them off an arsenal. Play this the following turn, and then have my crack back. I just have to push. What? Is somebody watching the stream? Why would you draw pass with 4 cards? That's like no, it was so quick. I think they No, I didn't want to Blockwood Trench, but I mean I don't know. I mean, clearly we have to activate this. Like there's no reason kind of not to. As far as on hits, we can stop the on hits from the go again. So I think we pitched the 3 reds. They have to be different names, so we take red because we don't have rains, but this is a good one. We need to keep one in there for Codex though. This probably Falcon Wing. I don't understand. I have the same name. I didn't pick the same name. Oh, I did pick 2 Boltyns. My bad. There we go. Okay. So there's a pump. So we're both just doing this? Is it all pumps or is he waiting for the perfect? Because if he knows I have a direct in Arsenal, he just gets to wait for like the perfect 18 whatever. I should have filtered there, by the way, to get to Buzzsaw Trap, because Buzzsaw is how I counter the strategy. Yeah, so he's just playing it. He's not. I don't think he's bricked. Okay, so here he can make his move because he can play this, keep that there, and push. Right. You didn't attack. I didn't attack because I didn't have a hand. I had 1 card in Arsenal. Do. Okay. $18. At least we don't get the on hits. We will take it. But then they pass is the problem. So we need to just filter until we get to bro, where is Buzzsaw, bro? Holy shit. So he's just gonna pass until he can get like a remorseless, or I don't know what he's doing. Okay, fine. You're out of rain razors, so if I stop this, I stop. Well, no, you have Codex, right? Yeah, you have Codex, which means I don't really. I do kind of want to discard. I'm not gonna lie. So what we do here, I'm like hard banking on him having Codex because it's the only line that really makes sense. We're gonna block here and then play the trap, which will let me discard and get an arrow into Arsenal. Okay, Rabble's fine. We have to take that. And then you Codex. What? Oh, these reads are off. Not a good game. It started rough and it's not ending any better. Could have swore that was a Codex line. There's one in there. We're this far deep. It was a blue Boltyn. We still have not seen. We literally still have not seen. We haven't seen the buzzsaw. This is dominate. Okay. So are we almost dead? We block 3 on 8, or it's 9, so we are toast. Doesn't give frailty. Yeah, we're fighting some demons this game for sure. This is a rough one. I'll admit it's kind of closer than I thought it was going to be. So we have to keep the yellow, obviously, so we don't die, but we need to present something. So I think we go here, pitch the red, load this, and then no matter what we draw, we can do the thing. We want this to trigger first. Still have not drawn. Still no buzzsaw, and we have 16 cards in deck and no buzzsaw trap. It's literally the last card. If he has like one more pump, I think I'm dead. So we can block this, load this, block this. So that's 6, then 10. We take 1. I mean, it's still, we have to stay alive. Oh, and you can't even play this from Arsenal, so GG. Because the remorses. Okay. Buzzsaw next card. The first hand we double pitched these 3 cards, so it was the last card in deck. Is where the buzzsaw was. It was literally the last card in the deck. Yep, because the first turn was the 3 arrow hand, and we had to. Gotta be kidding. I could have played that a lot better too. I shouldn't have given trench. Some of that was on me, 100%. Could have played that a lot better. He was running out of gas, but I think he had plenty to get there with the double codex. I think I actually just get fatigued because I was on the. Oh, I did shuffle from quiver. You're right. You're right. 100%. All right, I can't end on that note. We got to do one more. That was both variance and not playing the best you can to kind of equalize it. So, I'll take the blame for that one though. That was on me. Could have played that way better. Traps aren't really that big of a deal. I think you just want to keep on the aggression. Sleep dart is really good. I do like the idea of rain razors in this matchup. Trying to be very aggressive. Remorseless is okay. It's all right. Some attacks have go again, some don't. But then the frailty doesn't really produce any value when it does. I think you would take Tar Pit over anything. Tar Pit for Mavrian's actually pretty good. Where's the inertia traps? We can take those out, put in Tar Pit. Or we can just go full aggressive and say, all right, we got this. Let's try that. I don't know which one's right. I just want a good hand with this deck. That's first game went so well, and then the second one was so bad. That was so bad. Did you ever trench away your arsenal before blocking with it to open it up? So the idea was I was blocking to keep it. Because the whole reason I gave up trench was not to get the inertia token. So that way, if they had when they threw the arrow or whatever, I would have more to block with. This was a good trap. It was a frailty trap, right? I think I was far behind. I took a risk. Was my mentality in taking it. Was it correct? Maybe not. Probably not. But I knew that I was behind. I needed to take a risk, and that was the only way I could like extract a decent amount of value. Okay, how are we making 3 rune chance? All right, so with a full hand, let's load up. Remorseless, I think, is actually higher value. Well, in fact, he's just guaranteed. Okay. All right. So it's first turn. I need to get value. I can't just throw infecting and pass. So once again, we have AB on the trench. Okay, thank God. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to snap this. We're going to bullseye bracer in the Boltyn shot, and then we're going to codex go get the infecting shot again and fire it to make sure that we put on as much pressure in the beginning as possible. Inertia is good, but I don't think their attacks come in for higher than their base, right? Like, what's pumping Vincett's attacks? It's close to what I won the PQ with. It's close. It's whatever Damien's playing. That's what it is. So we're just gonna do this now. I know it's a little early, but Damien, go back and watch the first Riptide game. Do not go watch the second one. Oh man. The first one was good variance, good decisions. The second one was bad variance, bad decisions. Okay, we're getting blocks here. Oh, sink that Arsenal. Sink it. Come on. One time. Damn it. Here to, I mean, do we, I think we actually, so there is a situation here where you can load this and then trench it away before the codex resolves to keep the Remorseless in deck. The thing is, I think I actually want in the graveyard to give me more options for future codexes. Is my thought process. So I'm going to decline that line to give me more options in the future. Because this is never going to fatigue, so it's not that concerned. So we're just going to discard our Remorseless instead of doing the trench stuff. Get the Infecting. We're going to fire the Infecting. Beseech, Shadow Puppetry. So I know they're like they're not on like the 9 envelop anymore. That's been kind of gone. They're on like the red line, don't pitch kind of thing. So I know Puppetry and Beseech but lunging, that's a bit of a stretch. But you're right. 18 pumps? These people are wild. Boltyn shot off the top one time. Please. Okay. Give it go again, you say. Well, the go again doesn't matter because because they have frailty, so they can't even swing the I mean they can. It's not gonna do anything. I hate using the collapsing trap like this, but I think we're just supposed to play it because we can always extract the one value here. I want to keep this in deck over this because it's just a better card. I think lunging press and Vincent is so bad. I know some people are on it, but half the time you're getting the on hits anyway. Because decks are so fast that they can actually compete with Vincent damage like that. So I don't know. Not a fan. Keeping the RAM for second cycle. I don't think we're actually going to get to second cycle. I think what he blocked was kind of an anomaly. Or if we do get to second cycle, I think it benefits me anyway. And also, I don't know if when I draw it second cycle that it'll have go again. So the way that my mind is working is I would rather just make sure that I can extract that that ping value. I mean, Nico would know if press is old. So yeah, see, we're probably just either blocking with sync or eating 7. Yeah, see, we're not going to second cycle. We shouldn't, unless the Vincent player's in trouble. There's just no way that like actually happens. This is just not good. What do we do with this rain? It's not actively good, so we can trench it. But trenching it means we can put this face up. And then we can pre-med. And then E-strike for 7. Have the face-up Falcon Wing and Arsenal card. The golden question is, I don't remember if Widespread Destruction destroys a card in Arsenal or all cards in Arsenal, because that's going to hurt. Okay, definitely into Demi. It's unpreventable. Don't have a choice. That's fine. No on hit other than the banish. I'm not particularly worried about the banish because if they end on rune chance, the banish is worrisome. But if they don't, it's not the end of the world. I'm gonna let them have this. Right? I mean, let me double check my line. Trench away. Load Falcon Wing. We draw a card. Oh, but if that... So we actually have an extra card. So do we block? No. Deathly Well Blue is fine. He's gonna have to pay to keep it, basically. We're gonna save a little life here. It is a card. What I was worried about was like Funeral Moon or something like that. That would be a big hit. But Deathly Well Blue is on the lower end of what he could hit. So here we're going to follow through with the line that we had. We're going to trench away the Rain Razors. We're going to load the Falcon Wing face up specifically. That's going to allow us to have our second Arsenal slot with New Horizon. And more importantly, we're going to draw a card. And what that's going to allow us to do is go ahead and play Premeditate. And then that's going to allow us to put the E-Strike into Arsenal, which will give it the buff from Pre-Med. And then we'll E-Strike for 10. And we'll say we're going on double Arsenal. The good part about this line is if he does have the widespread destruction and a way to rune gate it, right, by making rune chance, however, having the double Arsenal set, we get to decide which one we give him. So it is kind of a shelter in some sense. He still gets an extreme amount of value from it. I'm not denying that, but it allows us to kind of hedge. But 10 is a very weird number with this much armor remaining because you're definitely not giving creepers here. And Tunic, you're definitely going to see a third counter before the end of the game. So we're definitely going to get a Ponder token here unless they give like the whole hand, but you can't do that because you're linking Blood Debt. So we're just going to pressure is the idea. Just gonna pressure. Blocking with a whale. I don't mind that. Got the sink below to go with it. Creepers in a read the runes to play the Deathly Well, more than likely, if I had to guess. Yep, there's the read the runes to turn on the Deathly. The good part about this exchange, though, is if that's not a bounding demigod, then like I guess the well does. He has to banish the card in hand. Is the point I'm getting at? He is forced to do it, and hopefully we can draw one of our blues. Please draw a blue, and we can get these creepers out of here. Out of here. Creepers just has so much value in this deck that there's the blue. So we drew blue. So we have the option to start entertaining the idea of turning it off. The problem is we have to do that and block the damage, which is a bit of an ask. So we have a red well here. So they're going to play either one. I don't think the color. Okay, so we have to give two cards. So we have to give our whole hand to stop the rune chant generation. They take one, then what? I think we just have to give them the 2 damage. I don't think it's actually efficient to do it the other way around. It doesn't have go again. I think I have an extra card. I'm unsure. We have pitch this for that. We won't have an extra arsenal, so we're literally just pitching for this. So we're going double pump into pitch. So we have could also load, but we block buzzsaw and then trench and then go boom boom into that. If we draw, we have to draw exactly a 0 cost arrow or it's burned. Whereas this presents double on hit, so I think we just send that. Buzzsaw trap doesn't have a whole lot of relevancy in this matchup, whereas Boltyn shot is just generically good. It kind of does what we are trying to. I'm actually just gonna get the buzzsaw here. Take the 1. Give him the 2 rune chant, or he didn't. He only gets one rune chant here, which is good because he has to actually do something to play that well if he wants to. But I think we're just going to fire the Falcon Wing, double pump. I'm specifically. I know some people would play the pre-med to get like the hit trigger like spread out, but I really want this to hit because I want the double arsenal for sure. So I'm waiting and I'm gonna add it on both. Oh, we're getting damage. What's up? You gonna stream Viscera sometime? I would love to stream Viscera as soon as he's good. As soon as he's good. Um, everybody that I mean, Zen just runs like Warmongers for indirectly for Azalea, right? And Viscera is just in a rough spot. But when those Room Blades come out, we're here. We're solving them. Um, we're solving both of them. Probably gonna do Aurora first, just because I think the hero power has a little bit more potential, and I think that Florian's also gonna take a lot longer as far as ratios are concerned. Just because I think Aurora is gonna be very simple to build, because the cost curve is whether the weapon costs 0 or 1. The cost curve is already determined. If the weapon costs 1, then you're running a lot of 0 costs, and then you do them tunic math if you're running tunic. Why block with the buzzsaw instead of A being with it since you weren't getting the trigger? Wouldn't you rather have it in the deck? So in the event that I do shuffle, which is pretty rare, I need cards that push damage is the idea. This deck does not go to second cycle typically, and I need cards that pushed in because whoever blocks in this matchup is who's losing. Because we're both just trying to throw shit at each other. So that's why. It's not a card that I want to see in the future. Plain and simple. Okay, we get the Ponder. We get the Heat Seeker trigger, which is going to put a card face up. Hopefully a good one. Good card. One time. Oh, wait. I did those ordered wrong. I'm supposed to... I gotta read. At the beginning of your end phase, put the top card of your deck face up into your arsenal. So I need to order the Heat Seeker trigger first, which gives me the second arsenal, which allows me to arsenal the Ponder tick. I guess is how I'm supposed to order that. Oh, this is just the trigger. The trigger is hitting. We're not actually resolving the effect. Talishar thing. I was like, what's happening here? I should have the card in Arsenal right now. But on the end phase, that's how I need to order it. I need to go Heat Seeker first, then Ponder, like it's ordered here. Because New Horizons is going to give me that additional Arsenal spot, and then I'll choose to Arsenal, so we get the double again. The unfortunate part is we kind of brick ourselves a little bit, but you know what can you do? Aurora snooze. Yeah, I think Aurora is going to be a little simple. I do agree. Hero power isn't the same in CC, so it's just going to be scaled differently. The hero ability will be, mark my words, I can guarantee it. Cash this check at the bank. The hero text will be the exact same. They're just going to change the number 4 to either 6 or 8. They're either going to scale it on deck size or they're going to scale it on life size, which will be a 1.5 or 2x multiplier, which will take 4 to a 6 or an 8. But it'll be the exact same text. It'll be the exact same. This kind of sucks because I really want to block this, but like I can't because I have a hand that can literally kill him. So yeah, there's that. Like I want to block this, but I don't think it's happening. I mean, there's just no shot, right? Like I'm blocking 3. Oh, that's unpreventable anyway. So that makes the decision very easy on the AB. We take that. This has go again. We have nothing that's rune gateable after. So we'll generate 2 rune chance. And then we can. So the worst case scenario here is Revel into Flail. He's going to have to take a damage, of course, to do that. But I think it's a perfectly reasonable play. So the worst case scenario here is 7, make 2. Oh, but then he could banish. So that's kind of what we're banking on, or what he's banking on is the banish. The problem is I can't play this right now. So it doesn't really matter. Like, there's just nothing I can do. So I just have to hope he whiffs on this. Like, it's gonna hit. But if he hits a rune gate here, like, this game got rough real quick. So he's got a whiff on this. Or maybe not a whiff, but like, you know, just don't be a bomb kind of situation. That is literally the definition of a bomb. Damn. So then he just throws the widespread. And if he has Revel here, we might just lose the game. He doesn't have tunic counter, so he can't get the action point, which is. We got lucky there. God, this is so good. So good. Okay, unfortunately here we are going to bank on a little bit of we're gonna bank on them not knowing a lot about Riptide, is what we're gonna do. So what's gonna happen? This is just strictly theory here. He's gonna take a lot of damage on this turn because he obviously wants to keep his creepers, present some damage back, because that's kind of the whole goal of this matchup. Then we're gonna kill him with this card. The unfortunate part is I know this Endless Arrow is going to hit. And it's going to go to waste. Because we have to get this into Arsenal. Damien, I'm making the I'm trying to kill him with this card, basically, is the idea. I know he's on the red line list, and I think it's actually correct. I know I'm gonna IP myself, but I think it's actually correct. But I understand your logic, Damien, because we both know this endless is gonna hit. So I'm gonna end my turn with 2 cards in hand. I understand what you're saying. I just think I'm literally gonna be able to kill him with it. But if he does block it, then I'm just a genius. Oh, he doesn't play red line. Okay, then I'm fucked. Then we're gonna just hope. Oh yeah, because I mean, red line does run the blue well. Have we seen anything else? I guess they're not really on the red line. Usually runs what, like 5 blues, maybe 6. Oh, are we actually getting it? Be greedy. Be greedy. Be greedy. Come on. You can do it. See, Damien? See, Damien? Why don't you sit back and take notes? That's why I didn't pitch for Pitfall Trap. Just take notes, Damien. Write it down. Just don't take notes of the second game. We're not gonna. That didn't happen. Okay, it's that simple. It did not happen. It cannot hurt me. This is fucking tunic counter. You bitch. Tunic needs to be banned. Do we care about eloquence at this life total? Because the hand's not that good. I can AB here. They are still taking one to the well, so we're not in any particular hurry. I guess that does prevent like a read the runes. I think I am gonna AB this. God, it feels wrong. Oh, it's unpreventable. Never mind. He did play the. What did he? Oh, he played the jack-o'-lantern. That's right. Okay. Never mind. Decision made. I was going to AB though, Jeff. That was my thought process, but now it becomes a lot less enticing. So here we basically so if we draw pump, we can go pump into this into something else. So I think we actually give New Horizon and Pitfall. And then we can load pitch. We pitch infecting to load searing. And then if we draw a pump, we play pump, falcon, searing, arsenal, endless. And if we draw an arrow, we cry. Seems fine. As we have a handful of fucking arrows. I think we gotta take the chance. I do like taking tunic counter here though. I think it's like really good. What do you mean take them? Yeah, tunic counter good here. We still do a damage, so we'll take that. And he's about to take one from blood debt. So not the worst transaction. We're getting kind of low here though. Another thing, because there's tunic counter. So the question is, do we want to how much do we want to hedge on drawing a pump? If we think we don't draw a pump, we have the ability to put in the infecting, which will get probably 2 cards because it's like getting really risky, right? Which does reduce the cards in hand and options and whatnot. And if we don't draw a pump, I'm actually gonna load infecting. It just means we come off an arsenal if we get the pump. But if we miss the pump, then we have a better turn. Okay, this is fine. Oh, you're right. I can't do the play because I'm blocked with the hat. Good thing I loaded in infecting shot. It was all part of the plan, chat. It was all part of the plan. Calculated. And so this is a pretty good spot because he can't, I mean, he could block one card. But it starts getting really dicey. Like really dicey. So we're gonna get 2. If this is read the runes though, bro, we're so fine. There's only 1 left in the deck though. Because he has the eloquence token. I mean, it gets gross. Playing around rain, love to see it. Love to see it. I guess he would die there if I had rain. So I mean, if he didn't have a super productive turn, I don't hate it. Okay. So 4 would be... Do we want to give him an attack is the problem. What can he grab that is relevant? Because he is taking 1 here. What's a relevant attack that he could take? So Codex is going to strip a card. And it allows us to throw an infecting shot. So the play that I like is to pitch for... This feels so stupid. And we're going to block it. They're going to take 1. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take him down to 1 card again. Which means he can't pull off the read the runes play. That's what we're trying to actively stop. So what we're going to do is we're going to trench here for a resource so we can go get red infecting. Or play the Codex. That's going to move a card from hand into grave, and then he's going to get some attack that doesn't fucking matter into arsenal. He has 3 in hand. He has to give me 2 cards, which leaves 1 in hand, which gets banished at the beginning of the turn. Which means he cannot read the runes into that fucking Deathly Well. If we can stop him from playing the Deathly Well, we win the game. Simple as that. That's all we're trying to do. That's 1 card out. Fire the infecting. If he gives 1 card, he takes 2 down to 2 and he dies. So he just can't do that. And he's taking blood debt. So he literally has to give 2 cards. And then he got Deathly Well. So this card is literally unplayable. So we've actually locked his arsenal up. So unless he keeps a blue, and if he'd 1 card 6, or he has to keep 2 cards because he has to actually keep his blue and not banish it. So this has to be a flail or pass. Well, he can't even flail because he has a frailty. So this is literally, no matter how you cut it, we have full tempo, still have our trench, we have a pump in arsenal. Back to back to back eulogy? Stop. God damn. Okay. What do we do? How do we die? This is 5 damage. We literally have the ability to get the entire hand. This is so close. I think we have to go to 1. Which means we have to get his hand every turn or we die. Because if he has the ability to keep anything, we have to do it. We don't have a choice. He has to play shadow non-attack. Make it unpreventable. As long as we get the hand, we're good. Going to 1. Yeah, the moon does insta kill me, but I think I think I just have to take a chance. I don't have a choice. So the problem with the trench move is there are a lot of ways where he can like make a 1-card play and still hit me with 1 rune chant, and I do need to be able to survive that. I'm 90% sure this just wins the game, but it is scary as shit. It is scary as shit. Yeah, that's the plan, is to triple buff into it. Tis the game plan. But this we know this is Deathly Well, so this is max. I mean, he could run sync, possibility. I know, yeah, he could run reduce, but he has to pay for it, so it's not valid. So sync is the only thing that saves. Yeah, it's funny. It's actually funny because if this was coming in for like a little bit less, he could actually take it so it take 1 damage. So it turns his hero ability off, so he can hard cast the Deathly Well and just keep a blue in hand. So that's actually pretty like interesting there. We just need him to have 1 2-block. Just 1. Technically, if we're no, we know Deathly Wells. So like, even if you block 12, you go to 1, you pass, and you die to blood debt. So you literally have to have Sync Blow. I mean, there's just no like. If you had creepers, maybe there was some funny stuff, but okay. So you're hard casting the reduce, pitching the 2-block to play the reduce. Oh, he does have the sync. What? Do you have 2 syncs? No way. There's no way, God. Bro, if we lose this game, if we brick, bro. We lose this game. There's no way that we haven't seen a fake or a sync the whole fucking game. And then we just kill him if he doesn't have it and he has 2. There's no way. If we if we brick, we lose the game. We have to hit. Okay. There's another main character. Bro, why was he thinking for so long, bro? It's like, do you? No way, bro. You can't see this on the stream because I have chat covered up, but he sunk the card with Sink Below and drew the Fate for Scene. He actually just ripped it off the top. Okay. So there's no way that Vincent can produce arcane damage on my turn other than Sigil. No, the arsenal we know is a red Deathly Well because of Codex. We know that's what it is. I think we just block Trench. Giving up the AB seems weird. All we're doing is giving up. We can also block here. That takes 9. Once again, same thing there. I think we actually keep it. And then what we can rip Tidal in with this, take it to 7, throw it. If for some reason they run Sigil or whatever the hell else they run, then we have the ability. Bro, what a game. But once again, this is going to rip the entire hand, right? So this is, I think this is just game. So the thought process here is he still has the 1 Deathly Well in Banish. We know this is Deathly Well. He has to block 9 here. Or even if he has a 3 block and a sink, that would be his only out, but that's not even good enough because then you send 1 and 6. I AB it, block 6, and then you die. So the only way he could actually win is the Read the Runes play. Yeah, so if he has a sink here and a Read the Runes in hand, he can actually banish with Vincent, play Read, and then play that and win the game. The problem is I'm going to kill him with this card. Yeah, I could have pitched into Weapon, but I thought it was an unnecessary risk because I don't know if they're running Sigil or whatever the case may be. And I just know that this wins the game. Right? If he respects it, I win the game. If he doesn't respect it, I still win the game. So we put him on Better Have It. We'll see if he has it. He had it at the right time last time. That was actually a really good game. That was a good one. That was a fun game. There was a lot. Like, I understand what I needed to do. Went to 1, felt weird, but like understand that I just needed to take cards from his hand. Forced him to like sit on the eulogy. So, that's the thing about Vincent. I think I know just enough about Vincent with just my Runeblade history that I was able to like navigate those situations. But if you take like 80% of the Fab player base, they don't know those situations and those like, pieces to put together and how to knowing the exact kind of win con. So, um, I, That's the power behind playing a deck that a lot of people don't understand is you get a lot of percentage points for absolutely no cost by just revealing your hero, right? The problem is if the player base is good enough, you're statistically playing an underpowered hero, so you also lose percentage points, assuming you're running into what is considered to be just more powerful. So there is a balancing act, but um, if somebody that didn't understand Vincent was sitting in my seat, they get toasted that game every time. I mean, just up and down. Um, Flesh and Blood's a pretty good game, huh? That's right, Staxel. He said it. It's pretty good. Let me get caught up in chat. Yeah, he actually grabbed the Fate for Scene off of the sink below. He sunk a card, ripped the Fate, and blocked 14 in Room Blade like a madman. Just did not want to die. Has a blue deal 2 arcane shatter Rune Blade instant. What? I don't think anybody's playing that though, right? Oh, invert. I mean, do people play invert? No shot. No block? Nah. 2 cents on net decking CCLL that you mentioned wasn't really possible earlier. Look at big ol' event winning list for when they. Yeah, that is true. The problem is like at that time when that hero was playing the cards that it was, they were targeting something that specifically existed. Like Oldham, if you looked up an Oldham list while Lexi was around, the Oldham deck was built to try and beat Lexi. Whereas Lexi's might not be the concern in the LL format. Not saying she's bad, she's actually really, really good. But yeah, just some things to consider. That is the type of game that made me fall in love with. I mean, it was just emotional roller coaster. It was a really good game. Really, really good game. Yep. I like those minute decision points. Going to 1 against a deck that, you know, has unpreventable damage, but knowing I'm safe because I know how the hero works in the card interaction. The only thing that I died to, like what was mentioned in chat, was Funeral Moon. Because and specifically because of the Eloquence token, they could have resolved Funeral Moon, gained the even without the Eloquence token, I took damage, so they could have resolved Funeral Moon, and then swung the weapon to kill me with the Unpreventable Arcane. So I chose to say that you don't have that one exact card, and sometimes you have to do that in Flesh and Blood. But I had a lot of fun playing the games. We even pivoted hero midway, just that's what chat wanted, so that's what we did. Don't rewatch the the second Riptide game. That man, mistakes were made. But we definitely improved on both this one and the first one. So haven't played the hero literally I think since the ProQuest. I don't think I've picked up the hero. It was actually really somebody asked me to sign a giant Riptide hero card at Nats, and I was like, "You sure you want me to sign this?" I literally played the deck for like 7 hours, and they were like, "Yeah, you have LO points." I was like, "All right, fair." But it was pretty funny. That was a good event. I liked Nats, seeing everybody. That was fun. So we're gonna go ahead and call the stream there. We've been going for about 3 hours, and if Lily B is still up, maybe we can get a couple games of CS:GO or something. But yeah, had a good time. Be on the lookout for the next Learning Curve episode. I'm going to be working on that in the next few days. Get that recorded for you and get that out. So far, it's been a huge success as far as feedback is concerned, and every single metric that I could use to measure it. So we're gonna we're gonna do the best we can and try to push that content because it just seemed that people were really getting information that they. The surprising part was in a game like Flesh and Blood. There's a lot of things that you know you don't know, and then you don't know you don't know. And surprisingly, the episode that I did it specifically targeted a lot of stuff people knew they didn't know, and it was able to answer those questions, which I'm really happy about. So we're gonna keep pushing that and see where we can go with it. But thank you everybody for joining me. I really do appreciate it. I don't know when exactly skirmish season is. I know it's coming up, but if you attend one, the best of luck, whether it's Blitz or LL format. And I wish everybody the best in their prep for Amsterdam. Good luck and good night.